Hello and welcome to our daily bulletin broadcast from Hanoi. Up next are the headlines.
President Chen Dae-kwang urges judicial sector to enhance socialist legislation. Government producers take first win in home playground. Sundong Cape welcomes 500 motorists.
President Chen Dae-kwang has said the Supreme People's Procuracy needs to continue to effectively implement the policies of the party and state regarding the judiciary field, enhance socialist legislation, ensure law enforcement, and uphold the rule of law. Talking to the agency's key officials in Hanoi on August 9, the president, who is also head of the Central Steering Committee for Judicial Reform, asked the sector to pay special attention to bettering the draft law on amendments and supplements to some articles of the Penal Code 2015 and related bills. Judiciary sectors, including the Supreme People's Procuracy, ought to make greater efforts to combat corruption, he said. President Kwang also held the sector's efforts in performing its assigned duties, saying they contributed to making judicial activities more effective. Over the last 7 months, the sector's supervision of the settlement of crime denouncements was implemented seriously and effectively. Activities done by investigation agencies under the Supreme People's Procuracy were more and more effective, with 25 cases, including 19 relating to corruption, being prosecuted during the period. The sector has taken many measures to improve the quality and litigation skills of prosecutors at court. On August 9, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc and his deputies Vương Đình Huệ and Vũ Đức Đam co-chaired a national conference on tourism development in the ancient city of Hội An, Central Quảng Nam Province. The conference was designed to map our major directions in the bid to turn tourism into a spearhead economic sector by 2020. In his opening speech, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc requested delegates to focus discussions on removing difficulties and obstacles, as well as creating favorable conditions for tourism development. He urged localities and businesses to put forth specific proposals and point out the most urgent issues for relevant ministries and agencies to deal with. The tourism sector has drawn a bright spot in the country's socio-economic development picture and has welcomed 5.5 million foreign tourists since the beginning of this year, earning 235 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $10.45 billion. In 2015, the non-smoking industry created 750,000 direct jobs out of 2.25 million tourism-related employments. Vietnam is now home to more than 1,500 international travel companies, 1.7 times higher than the figure in 2010. By the end of May, the country had over 100 5-star, 234-star, and more than 463-star hotels. However, tourism promotion remains limited in terms of both resources and effectiveness. Vietnam has built up tourism products but failed to develop internationally acclaimed tourist destinations due to a lack of adequate investments. The Vietnam Union of Friendship Organizations and the Thai Embassy held a meeting in Hanoi on August 9 to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Vietnam-Thailand diplomatic relations.
Vietnam and Thailand officially established diplomatic relations on August 6, 1976. The two countries elevated their relations to strategic partnership in 2013. The upgrade marked an important milestone in bilateral ties, opening up new prospects for stronger bond, contributing to promoting and developing the relationship and deepening the bilateral ties in many fields. Thailand was the 5th largest trade partner and also the 10th largest investor of Vietnam, with 459 projects worth $9 billion as of June this year. Vietnam and Thailand have cooperated closely in development projects within the Greater Mekong Steppe region in such fields as infrastructure and transport to facilitate connectivity.
Vietnam's tuna exports are expected to bring much revenue as in 2015, despite a slight decline in orders from Japan. More in the following report.
According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, VASEP, tuna exports earned the country $225 million in the first half of 2016, or slightly less than the same period last year. The decline happened in all markets except ASEAN countries. VASEP predicts the tuna export value will reach $123 million in the third quarter, up 5% against the same period, thanks to increasing tuna consumption in the United States and the European Union. The increase in the third quarter could have tuna exports reach $455 million for the whole year, equivalent to the revenue of 2015. Among the major importers, Japan has seen the deepest decline, with a decrease of nearly 34% in the second quarter this year. The main reason leading to the decrease of tuna exports to Japan is a high levy of 6.4 to 7.2% imposed on Vietnam's tuna. Besides that, high production costs entail the high price of Vietnam's tuna. Japan is the fourth largest importer of Vietnamese tuna after the US, the EU, and ASEAN.
For a long time, many Vietnamese, particularly younger generations, have preferred made-in-China clothes to Vietnamese items because they are eye-catching and cheaper. However, in recent years, consumers have bought more domestic products. This trend shows that the Vietnamese garment and textiles industry is making strides in the home market.
This company has spent $150 billion to build its brand, focusing on designing models and choosing materials suitable to local consumers' tastes and pockets. The company boasts more than 40 stores situated in northern provinces and one store in the south. It is about to expand its presence in central and southern localities.
Về cái đội ngũ thiết kế thì hiện tại thì công ty
This range was created by our designers, who were trained in specialized establishments. Our company has also collaborated with the Institute for Fashion Studies under the Vietnam Garment and Textiles Corporation in designing styles, as well as buying designs from foreign partners.
To build a trademark that can control the domestic market and seize consumers' confidence, domestic enterprises have been improving their product quality and models. Most consumers say that despite prices being 10 and 15% higher than Chinese products, Vietnamese clothes are more durable and the designs are the same.
Trong khoảng 2-3 năm nay thì tôi đã chuyển sang dùng hàng.
I started to buy domestic clothes products about 2-3 years ago. Their designs are improved and eye-catching, while prices are reasonable, especially for workers in white collars like me.
Người lao động cũng như là nhân viên văn phòng.
Các hàng dệt may trong nước hiện nay như là Việt Tiến, May 10 hay là TNG.
Products made by domestic companies such as Việt Tiến, Garment or TNG have good quality and reasonable prices. They're also affordable for white collars like me. Vietnamese people pay little attention to products imported from China.
Không quan tâm nhiều đến những hàng Trung Quốc.
Industry insiders said made in Vietnam products have satisfied consumers in different segments. To gain more successes, domestic firms need to take thorough market surveys before choosing their goods over imported ones.
We need to have strategies to step-by-step build up customers' trust in domestic products, with high quality, reasonable prices and suitable designs.
Sales of local trademarks saw a year-on-year increase of between 120 to 140%, is clear evidence showing that Vietnam's garment producers have secured a firm foothold in the home market.
Many industries in Vietnam, especially those relating to engineering, information technology, healthcare, textiles, and footwear, are forecast to have a great demand for employees in the coming years. In the Vietnam Industry Development Strategy to 2025, with a vision to 2035, priority will be given to developing the processing and manufacturing industry, electronics and telecommunications, and new and renewable energy. The strategy will target key sectors, including electricity, mining and processing, construction material production, food, garment and textiles, footwear, and petroleum. The situation shows that the labor force is likely to have more opportunities to seek jobs. In the total demand for professionalized human resources, the engineering and technology sectors account for the highest proportion with 35%. It is followed by the group of economics, finance, banking, legal and administrative works with 33%, the natural science industry 7%, and others from 3 to 5%. The International Labour Organization reported the number of jobs in Vietnam is likely to increase by 14.5% by 2025, thanks to the country's participation in the ASEAN Economic Community. Vietnam is predicted to receive a strong increase of foreign direct investment flow, especially in manufacturing and IT sectors and food production and processing industries, when the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement is officially signed. Many recruiters said that Vietnamese employees are facing great challenges in professional competence, foreign language skills and working habit, which will hinder them from competing with foreign laborers, especially as Vietnam joined the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in ASEAN Economic Community. Since the beginning of this year, 500 domestic and foreign tourists successfully conquered Sơn Đoòng Cave, which is located in the heart of the Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park in the central coastal province of Quảng Bình.
This figure has brought the total number of visitors to the world's largest cave to 1,300 since tours were first available in 2013. Last year, Sơn Đoòng welcomed more than 500 visitors, including 67 Vietnamese. Vietnam ranked third in the number of visitors after the US and Australia. An exclusive week-long adventurous tour of Sơn Đoòng Cave is billed as one of the world's top trips. The cave was named in the list of the top 10 lifetime trips and has been praised by prestigious magazines, newspapers and websites like the New York Times, TripAdvisor, National Geographic, and the Huffington Post. In a bid to promote Sơn Đoòng Cave and the World Natural Heritage Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park and serve the demand of tourists, Quảng Bình Province has allowed the sole operator of Solis Adventure Tours to arrange more tours from January to August 2017. Sơn Đoòng Cave is more than 200 meters wide, 150 meters high, and approximately 9 kilometers long. It was believed to be formed 2 to 5 million tons ago and discovered by a local resident in 1991. In 2009, scientists from the British Cave Research Association prepared the cave for limited public access after surveying the area. Within its caverns lie a jungle and a river, and the cave is large enough to fit a 40-story skyscraper inside. The cave was named the largest cave in the world by the British Cave Research Association.
And that has come to the end of our program. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.